This is Adam Talley with Talley Insurance. I am not Katrina Madewell, although she did join us in the first hour, which was exciting.
Yeah, I like that. She snuck in. She said, quote unquote, we needed help.
She did say that, but I think we handled ourselves just fine on that list.
Yeah, we'll have to let our YouTube subscribers like and subscribe. We'll have to hear what they have to say
We'll
about
have to do a fan vote.
Fan vote. Did you like us better with or without Katrina?
Absolutely. And that was the voice of Leo Kane of Barrel Project Engineering and Inspections. And today we have a very exciting guest, Rene Ayala. He's with Daylight Concept, and he does solar design. So it's kind of interesting. We did talk about solar a little bit last week, but kind of dive into that. Tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of how we got to solar design here.
Well, thank you, and good morning to you and everybody who's listening. Indeed, my name's Rene Ayala, and I'm the owner of Daylight Concepts, and we work with tubular skylights.
Okay.
And we focus our solar designs in bringing natural daylight into our customers' homes.
Wow. So how did you, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you, got into the, solar design business?
Sure. I come from a country where I studied biology as a first degree.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I actually work with different type of green energies for over 10 years.
Okay.
And when I came to this country, I decided to mix both of my passions, which is the green technologies and my business background as well.
Okay.
And that's how I came to bring natural daylight to people's homes.
Okay.
It has an added benefit, which is bringing a little bit of joy and positive energy into different rooms, which translate into happier customers.
Absolutely. Now, you said these are solar tubes?
Yes.
So tell me what a solar tube, what is that?
Well, SolaTube is the name of a brand. They created the concept of tubular skylights over 30 years ago.
Okay.
So what we do is that we bring natural daylight by capturing daylight using a dome. And then we transfer that light using our highly reflective tubes.
Okay.
And then deliver that light inside of your home with different sets of diffusers.
Okay, so it's not like just cutting a hole in my roof and putting a plastic dome on top of it.
No, it's a little bit more involved. It's a little bit better technology.
Fair enough.
So there's a difference between, I guess, solar engineering and what you're doing, which is passive solar design.
Yes.
So, because we do solar design as well, but we're doing actual panels on the roof to lower electric bills. Your aspect of passive solar design is completely different then.
It is. We do have another product which is very popular in summertime, like right now, where it's our solar power attic fan. And that would be maybe the closest to saving energy and saving money for customers, because by lowering the temperature in people's attics, then you achieve a lot.
Wow, I'd never heard of that before, but it sounds like a pretty good idea. What do you think?
People confuse our two all the time because they'll call us about passive solar, and they're like, no, we don't do that. And the passive solar, I love it. It's the art of building your home to kind of minimize that electric and the usage.
Okay.
Where we're on the opposite end of the spectrum, where we're taking Florida's sun and the home that's already existing and just harnessing that energy.
Wow.
So it's two completely different things on the same coin.
Yeah.
I like it, though. Now, there's obviously some benefits to this. First thing, it says natural light in the elderly. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, most of our customers, not necessarily elderly, but a lot of people that stay at home a lot. So it's either elderly or people that do home office.
Okay.
Also get a lot of benefit. Why? Because they have more time inside of that particular home, right? And there's nothing better than natural daylight. Not only for your mood, but also for certain eye conditions. It's highly improved.
Wow, I wonder if I could... Do you guys do this just on residential, or do you do commercial as well?
We focus on residential.
Okay. That's a shame, because I think I'd like some natural light in my office.
Might
help my mood. I'm sorry?
Work out of your house.
I don't know about that one either. Condo living.
That won't help your mood then.
No, it won't. Have to open up a window. But and then it says next one is SAD. So that's the seasonal affective disorder. So how does that kind of play, and what is that a little bit, if you don't mind diving into it?
Absolutely. So there's a lot of people that get highly affected by the lack of daylight.
Like vampires.
There you go. and one of the reasons why we get so many people moving down to Florida is because they're looking for a little bit of a better weather and a lot more daylight. And
He wasn't even listening to the last hour, but that was number one on the list.
There you go.
Was
Why people move to Florida with
yeah,
the
it was
weather.
good weather.
There you go. So once they move down here, they realize, oh, now my house is dark, so I'm kind of losing the purpose. And by adding natural daylight, they can prevent that particular disorder from happening. And it can be as mild as I'm not feeling that happy right now, as very serious.
Full-on depression.
Yeah, full-on depression.
I've seen it. It's no joke.
Yeah. And that's something that I think is a little more common up in like Alaska and Seattle, places that
Or New
either it
England.
rains a lot or they don't get a lot of sunlight in the winter, that kind of stuff, right?
New England is very popular in New England.
Interesting.
Yeah, we have actually helped a lot of customers with that particular condition, and you know it at the moment they call you and they say, I don't want to turn my lights on ever during daytime.
Really?
And then we have to create a specific design for that house and that particular requirement.
You
Wow.
just put a big hole in the roof.
Big hole in the roof.
Put a dome on top of the
I thought that's how it worked, but I'm getting an education today, so I'm pretty excited
It's
about
not,
that.
That's not how it works.
That's what he said. No, it's tubes.
You don't take the whole house and turn it into a skylight.
I mean,
That's
Nope.
why. That's the way we would.
There are better ways.
I don't know if I recommend that, I don't know how sturdy that'd be when the hurricane comes.
Oh, the tubes. They're
No, a giant skylight for your roof instead of a normal roof.
Actually, all joking aside, one of the products we do design for solar is basically it's like a skylight.
Okay.
The roofing material is the solar collector panel, and the edges of it basically it's one big skylight for your roof, but it's not a skylight because on the top of it you can't see through because it's all the solar stuff. So all joking aside, we do that kind of design for the purpose of energy.
The hole in the roof design.
Hole in the roof design. But so when you're doing one of your analyses of the house, you take into account tree cover and things of that. Do you recommend? Are you partnered with like an arborist or a landscaper that would come in and help you there? Or?
Absolutely. That is a very good question, and it's something we definitely have to take care of. Also, whenever customers have solar panels or they're looking to have a solar design. So we work very closely with companies like yours that do solar power designs and different type of arborists. But my territory, the territory that we cover is so large that we have to partner with different companies depending on where it is. I can't send somebody that I know I trust in Tampa when I'm working in Winter Haven or in Naples.
So what is your what's the scope as far as how far will you guys go for a job, for a project?
Well, we cover all Polk County, Hillsborough as well, and Pinellas, and then go down completely to Naples. That would be the edge of our territory right now.
Oh, wow. So you got like pretty much the entire Southwest
Florida, yes.
They call it the Sun Coast.
Yep.
Love it.
He covers the Sun Coast with his solar passive design. That's awesome.
Yep.
I like that. So on our other list of benefits here is inexpensive natural light. So dive into that a little bit. I mean, are we saving money on our utility bill when we have this?
Well, you don't have to turn your lights on.
Okay,
so
that helps,
There's
right?
that one saving, which is an obvious saving. But another important one is that all of our systems come with solar-powered nightlight, and that qualifies the entire system for the tax credit, the federal tax credit. And being these the last year for the 30%, it's an important saving for our customers.
Wow.
Well, they might renew it, right? The 30%. It's been the last year for several years because they keep renewing it.
Well, I think next year is going to be a little bit lower.
Yeah.
That's what I think is going to happen.
Interesting.
Yeah, because as the tax credit starts to diminish on full systems or other these type of things, it becomes a little bit more a nice to have rather than a have
Well,
to
and what
have.
exactly, we have a few seconds here. What exactly is this tax credit for the people that may not know that are listening out there?
Please.
Well, basically, there is a tax credit if you were to take something like, it was back when the electric cars were first coming out.
Okay.
Basically, to be an early adopter of any technology, you have to pay more money for it.
Oh, okay.
So the government wants to promote these systems that are actually beneficial, lower energy use, things of that. So they give you a credit to help subsidize the early adopters. And that's where it comes from. So over time, as the technology gets cheaper, supposedly the tax credit diminishes, so the homeowner ends up paying the same amount throughout the process.
Awesome. Well, we have a question when we come back, and you're listening to Tampa Home Talk. And if you have any questions on solar, passive or active, text solar to 813-377-2775, and we'll get you connected to these guys here.
Good morning. Welcome back. This is Tampa Home Talk. I'm your host, Leo Kane, with Barrel Engineering and Inspection. Sitting to my left is Adam Talley, also the host.
With Talley Insurance. Thank you very much. And we have a very special guest, Rene Ayala, and we're talking all about SolaTubes today. Very exciting. And Katrina had a question.
Yes, you wanted to know the different shapes the tubes come in.
Yeah, she said, I thought the tubes were only round. Can you change an existing skylight for these SolaTubes? And do you have any rectangular shapes?
Well, yeah, not all the tubes necessarily have to be round. Now we have square shapes. Okay, and we do have different diffusers for every shape. Okay, that is basically going to change a little bit the effect of light that you're going to get inside of a room. One of our diffusers, for instance, can create rainbows when the sun is at the zenith around noon, which is something some people really love and something some people really hate.
That sounds pretty cool.
So you know when to take your hallucinogenics then.
And then we have a completely different diffuser that can soften light. That typically is what we recommend when we have customers with either cataract surgery or macular degeneration, any kind of eye condition that we have to be careful with that. So yes, we can have rounds and squares.
How hard is it to change it out if you already have a round, if you want a square?
It would be a bottom upgrade. We do have to replace the bottom part of the system.
Okay. Fair enough.
And your second question, I believe it was for the skylight replacement?
Yeah, if I had a skylight and I wanted to replace it with a passive solar tubey system.
Yeah, we can do it. Typically, it might require a little bit more, and it depends on the size and the shape of your current skylight. We might have to do a little bit more or a little bit less. But the answer is that yes, we could probably do it.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice. And then, one of these other benefits that we had on here was to sell that house. So now maybe that's probably an upgrade you might want to do to help sell. So how does that help?
Actually, it's funny. It all started with a couple of realtors that knows the product that were previous customers, and they realized that homes that are a little bit hard to sell with a relatively inexpensive investment, it becomes a showstopper. It really pops up the entire house just by having natural daylight. One of the most common for realtors application is putting a tubular skylight on a foyer. Just because you open the door and voila, it's bright.
Yeah, It's one of those things that we covered last week, that it might not increase your appraisal value, as we learned last week, but it does definitely increase your curb appeal. So if you have the higher curb appeal, you get the interest and you get your asking price faster.
Yeah, so time is money. So
yeah,
it'll help you sell quicker.
Stage your house with natural sunlight. It's going to have an impact when people are walking through.
Yeah. Now we have some top 5 frequently asked questions. I think we covered number 1, which was how does the system work, right? So you have a solar tube, right? And it's sending all the light down. And is it just like a light switch in my house, or it just comes right through, or how does it actually get to the room part?
How do I put the rainbow in my living room?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a dome that will capture daylight. Okay, and with that, we're going to bring only visible light. That dome has one very important add-on, which is that it's going to block both UV energy and infrared energy. So it's not going to bring heat, which in Florida, it's kind of important, right? Once we bring all that visible light, it's going to be reflected through the tube, and then it's going to be transmitted using different set of diffusers. And that diffuser is what's going to determine whether you have your rainbows or a little bit of a softer light.
So is this based on the ancient Egyptian technology where they had light actually reflected and refracted into pyramids so they could do construction down there?
It's funny that you mentioned that, because that's usually my comparison to most customers. It's like a very ancient idea with very new technology. Yes.
Wow, I like that. As seen on The Mummy and other...
As seen on The Mummy, yes. Brendan Fraser, yes. Brendan?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I just love the technology. I mean, it's been around for thousands of years, and the government's paying you to take it right now. So, I mean, these are 2 wins.
Yeah, I don't see a reason not to do it. Now, something that people might ask you to see if they can do it. What if we don't have a shingle roof? Can we still get this?
Yeah. We work with shingle roof, with tile, with metal. It really flat roof even. It really depends on the type of material that you have, and we might have to add certain additions to make it work. But yes, definitely we can work with different type of
Anything's
roofs.
possible, right?
Yes.
Now, we did get a question from Pat, who's in the studio, and he was asking, or it might have even been Katrina, can you see this in your showroom? Like, do you have a showroom where people can come in and kind of see how it's going to work and how it's going to look?
We have everything installed in our showroom, yes.
Okay.
We are located in Benjamin Road, close to the airport.
Okay.
Very close to the Veterans Highway as well. Okay. So it's an easy access for everybody.
Perfect.
Awesome. So if you'd like to tour the showroom, go ahead and text showroom to 813-377-2775. That's
813-377-2775. Text showroom. We'll get you a private tour right here so you can go see all.
Not his place.
Yes. At Benjamin Road near the airport.
Yes.
So you can kind of check out the SolaTubes.
Check it out. I mean, that seems neat. I bet I want to visit the Rainbow Room.
Yeah, I kind of we should do a field trip there one day.
Yeah.
Next time he's on the show, we'll just do it on location from the showroom. I think that'd be exciting.
You're more than welcome.
Now, number 3, as far as our questions on here, how many daylight systems do I need?
It really depends on what you want to do, right? And the room that we're trying to brighten up, and also the shape of that room. And whether you have passive system or you don't have passive light coming into your house. So if you have a kitchen and you have a window that's bringing some natural daylight, and it's a small kitchen, probably one unit is going to be more than enough. And before I get into how many units, I do have to say that we have 2 different sizes. And that will also be taken into consideration when we want to brighten up a room.
So I can't use one unit to brighten up all the rooms with just a bunch of different tubes going everywhere.
Well, think of the can lights that you have in your kitchen. You don't have only one.
That's true.
Or the light fixtures that you have in your home. You don't have only one. You have multiple.
Right.
And it's because you have to balance light and darkness inside of a room.
Okay.
So that would be, it's usually another way of explaining. And it also depends. Sometimes our customers want to have, want to walk by a room, a hallway, it's a great example, without having to turn the lights on. And sometimes they just want to work or are heavy into cooking and, they want to have a lot of light because they're going to be spending a lot of time.
I think the kitchen, hallways, all these areas where you're in and out, your hands are busy, you don't want to mess with switches. I mean, that's
bathroom
perfect
even, probably.
I've seen them in bathrooms, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, you did allude to this earlier when we, I think when we first did the intro, but we have attic fans, right?
Yes.
So let's talk about the attic fans a little bit. I think that's probably the most exciting thing because it makes sense, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Top of the house is cool. That's where the hot air is going to go. It's going to keep the rest of the house cold, right?
Correct. So think about your attic. I don't know how many times do you go inside of your attic in summertime?
Well, I don't have an attic, but he's an attic regular over here.
Yeah, I in the summer once a month.
Okay. So you do know that your attic, depending on how you have it, but a regular attic would be probably between 120 and 150 degrees.
Oh, easily.
Mm-hmm. So that's all because, by convection heat is going to be rising up. And you're going to have not only heat, but also humidity inside of that space. So by adding an active system, that's going to be solar powered, you're going to be pulling all that air outside of your attic, creating a ventilation system.
It really makes sense if you think about it, because you're putting an active fan that's solar, that's collecting energy from the sun, so it turns on during the hottest part of the day, and it vents your attic out during the hottest part of the day. So the houses all have something called a stack effect, and that's the way cool air and hot air interact. So hot air is always trying to rise. So this fan is basically taking the hot air and pushing it out. And that's a mistake a lot of, I've seen this in warehouses a lot. They have those huge fans and they aim the air inside. That's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to push the air out.
Interesting.
So that's what these fans do, is they push the hot air out so cool air can take its place.
Now, do you have any studies that show, how this might affect your electric bill?
We do, but I always like to refer to our customers' information and the feedback. After 13 years in the market, I think it's more interesting to have that here in Florida. And everybody keeps saying that depending on how hot the summer is or that season, it takes about 2 years to have your investment back.
Okay.
Okay. We also had this one customer last, I believe, October, where she actually had different meters, thermometers in different areas, and she noticed a drop of 20 degrees within the first 2 hours of the installation of the attic fan. So yeah, they actually do work.
And the other benefit you get, which you can't really put a dollar on because it's more like a 10-year cycle, is they will make your roof last longer.
Really?
Because what ends up happening is shingles will bake from the bottom, and they'll start to blister if they're not properly ventilated. So when you're ventilating, you're actually keeping them cool on the bottom, which actually helps them last longer.
Couldn't have a whole show without Science Hour, so I love it.
We got two solar people on the show.
Hey,
doing
no,
different
I love
aspects
it. No,
of-
I think it's great. This is why I tune in every day.
Yeah, we've got two different aspects of the same using the sun concept to cool your house. So this
I
is
love it.
awesome for this hour. And we'll talk more. We still got another whole half hour to go.
I can't wait.
When we get back, this is
excited.
Tampa Home Talk. And you can reach us at our off-air number, 813-377-2775. Remember, love where you live, or we'll passive solar design it so you can live there. We'll be right after the break. Stay tuned.
Good morning and welcome back to Tampa Home Talk. This is Adam Talley with Talley Insurance, joined with my partner in crime, at least if we're doing trivia and Science Hour, Leo Kane of Barrel Project Engineering and Design, and and Inspections. And then we have Rene Ayala today. We're talking all about SolaTubes and how it can
Passive solar systems.
Passive solar systems. I love it. And we had on our top 5 frequently asked questions, and I think this is a great question for anybody that wants to get this, is how long does it take to install?
Typically on a shingle roof, it shouldn't take more than 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
To have your entire either kitchen or bathroom or closet brighten up.
Wow. And that's just to install it on the roof and to get the tubing all the way down to the room? Wow.
And properly done.
Yeah, what if I'm just going what if I'm just going the efficient route? I just want these fans, which I think everyone should have one of these fans with all the benefits you have. But how long does that take to install?
The attic fan should take about an hour and a half.
Okay. And let's say I need 2 of these fans on my attic. What's the average going rate for something like that?
We do have 2 different sizes. Okay, one which is our quote-unquote small fan. It's a 16-watt fan that we typically install on localized areas. Let's say we're getting a lot of calls because homeowners have a very hot garage. So that's not a huge fan for the entire house. That's something that we have to take care of that particular location. Or you have a bedroom that's in the southwest area of the house and you want to really focus. So that would be one of the fans, and that install goes for $700.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
That's
Very
well worth
affordable.
it. You'll save the money there. And what he's talking about with the garage, they normally don't insulate above a garage, so that room's going to be hotter. And if your firewall doesn't go all the way up because you've got an older house, you basically have this void without insulation that's connected to the rest of your house. A lot of people complain their bedrooms don't get cool enough because usually the air handlers are in the central part of the house. The ductwork run is further. They might have some leaks. So these fans actually save you money on not having to replace your roof, not having to replace your AC, lower your energy bills. I mean, there's so many benefits. I could easily see the payback on a $700 fan being like less than a year.
That's worth it.
Well worth it.
And remember, you still get a 30% tax credit.
So, oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that's extra money.
So what if I want a bigger one? Let's say I need a ridge. I need a ridge version of this. I need the 50-watt puppy.
The other unit we have is a 35-watt unit, and that goes for $850. And this is price installed on shingle roofs.
So if it's $700 for the one and $850 for the other, why would I just not spend the extra money?
That's actually what most of our customers say.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. I just want the bigger fan.
Wow. That's crazy. I didn't realize, I mean, I'm just kind of floored. I didn't realize, A, it was that affordable. B, in and out a couple hours tops. I mean, that's minimally invasive right there. I like that.
I feel like we're at QVC all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Operators are standing by right now.
Right now. Text 813-377-2775 and we'll get you connected.
No, but seriously, I sometimes I get blamed of getting too excited about things, and this is one of those things I get too excited about because they're no-brainers. I mean, I live in a 100-year-old house that's super hot, so anything I can do to help cool it down is a no-brainer.
You should text solar to 813-377-2775. I'll get you connected to Rene.
Oh, that's awesome. That would work. I need to take advantage of that tax credit.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we've been talking solar. We've been talking adding daylight. What's an electric nightlight? How does that work?
Well, the solar-powered electric nightlight is basically a nightlight, very similar to what you can probably plug in, and most of our customers already do. But coming from the SolaTube, it's kind of like having a full moon permanently, a full moon light effect permanently.
Wow.
And it just makes sense. In a bathroom or in a kitchen where you don't want to turn the lights on, it just makes sense.
Definitely in the bathroom. Like my wife stumbling around in the bathroom, turns the fan on, turns the light on. Next thing you know, the dogs are awake. I'm up at 4:30 in the morning, can't fall back asleep. This could all be avoided with one simple solar tube.
See, but I feel like you probably get some good gaming time in early in the morning, or do you just hit it?
No, I go to sleep at 2 at night, so the 4:30 in the morning, I don't want to live that.
Oh, wow, that's a little rough.
But in the reverse, when I'm stumbling drunkenly trying to find my whiskeys and tequilas at 1:30 in the morning through the kitchen, it'd be nice not to have to turn a light on either.
There you go.
Yeah, well, you're looking at the positives there. I like
But
that.
what if my kitchen's on the first floor and there's a bedroom above it?
Then I think you need a wet bar upstairs.
Okay, so in two-story homes or more, we can install, because as long as we don't go down 30 feet, you're not going to lose daylight. The material that we have in our tube reflects 99.7% of natural daylight.
Okay.
There's no high reflecting surface in the industry right now than what we currently have. In that case, we do it, but mostly with new constructions, because you have to have the area where the tube's going to go through, and sometimes people don't like it when they're in the middle of the bedroom.
Fair enough. Now, you ever have any issues? So obviously we're in Florida. We get a lot of weather. Mm-hmm. Any issues with wind, rain, anything as far as damage or leaks to the homes with these systems?
That's not very common with our system, I have to be completely honest. And for homes that are within 1 mile of the water or certain counties, they actually do require for us to have HVAC units, which is units that are going to be hurricane approved. Okay, and they can withstand up to Cat 3. So we can't even go that far into making it safe for our customers.
Okay.
And this is where these systems actually are better than the pool heater systems that just rip off a roof in those Category 3 storms.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. I think Katrina was texting me while you were talking. I think you might have made a sale just during this call here. I think
She wants to go to the showroom, right?
Yeah. So is there do you guys do free consultations? Is there any sort of cost to have you come out and look at my roof and my house and say, hey, almost like an audit, right? Where you're coming and saying, this is what I recommend, this many solar, this. What's the process there? If I wanted to get started, take me through that.
Not at all. I mean, the first things that we do is that we take the call inside of our office and we follow up with the customer's needs. And yes, we can do in-home consultations at no cost to our customers. So absolutely.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, what are you seeing most common when people are, what are most people purchasing when they come to you? Are they getting a full system, multiple rooms, got the garage cooled, we got the attic cooled? Are they adding this night light feature? What are they doing to, what's the most common thing that you're seeing right now?
We have two very distinct common calls right now. One is to brighten up either kitchen or bathrooms. Mm-hmm. Or the other one is they want to cool down their garage.
Okay.
And we do have not only the solar power attic fan, but also a specific garage fan that is an electric device. Okay. But one that's specific designed to maintain a flow of ventilation of air inside of the garage.
Okay. Very nice.
Because typical, with Florida Building Code, they recommend for an office space, you're supposed to turn the air over in a room 7 times an hour. Mm-hmm. That would be
every 9 minutes.
Every 9 minutes or so, you got to turn the air over in the room. One is we breathe out carbon dioxide, so we got to get it out. We need fresh oxygen in. So there's health benefits to everything he's saying. Mm-hmm. And Adam's just completely floored right now. He had to take his headphones off in disbelief. Yeah, I
thought I had to sneeze, so I was trying to save the world here.
No, it's just that you get the cost benefits, you get the health benefits, and there's cleaner air, cleaner light, cleaner this, cleaner that. I mean, I'll go as far to say that all of these systems combined can help you live longer.
Wow.
Hey, I like that.
I'm not a doctor. I'm an engineer, so I will say our systems can help you live longer. But they can. I mean, natural light. I mean, I don't know how many people live in Florida yet have vitamin D deficiencies. It's just ridiculous.
There should be no need for that.
There should be no need for that. You can get these systems will help there. I mean, anytime you're turning over air, you're bringing in new air. So if there's like mustiness, mildew, mold, that stuff's going out. These systems will get radon out of your house. I mean, it's all these things.
Wow.
Engineering.
Unlimited possibilities.
Yes, unlimited potential.
Wow. And are you? Did you guys ever do any promos or anything, or is it pretty much just trying to get the that tax discount, that tax credit?
Right now, I do believe the tax credit is it's an important part of our offer, but we do have a multi-unit discount right now going on. So depending on how many units you are going to be installing, you can save up to $200 of the systems.
Wow. It's a good deal.
It makes sense. I mean, part of any tradesman, part of the fee is to get to your property. Part of the fee is to get up on your roof. Once you're there, you can give a discount on multiple anythings because you're already there, you're already mobilized. You don't have to do all those extra overhead costs. So it makes sense from a multiple fan or multiple fan / tubing discount.
Now I'm reading through the notes here.
You've got a lot of questions.
There's
Adam.
a lot. Hey, I didn't. This
You've
was
got
great.
44 questions.
48 questions. 48 questions, and I didn't type any of them. So.
No, I thought you're learning so much right now. I'm going to use you in trivia in this category. Next time.
Yeah, I'm going to try. But I was just, something that caught my eye here said a ventilation add-on kit. What's that?
Well, sometimes you have restrooms that are quite small.
Okay.
And homeowners don't want to have 10 different things on the ceiling. So we can have everything integrated in the SolaTube. It will actually, instead of look like a round tube, it might look like a little bit of an oval. But right next to the air, you're going to have the ventilation kit.
Okay.
Obviously, it's not going to be the same ducting. Okay. But from a ceiling perspective, is going to be exactly the same thing.
Okay.
And we can even add a light kit inside of the tube, which is different than the solar power night light, which we can connect to your electrical system. And when you fleet your lights on at night, your solar tube also works as a light fixture.
Oh, interesting.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. It's not too
so
bad.
you're plugging stuff in on the ceiling then? Hair straighteners, blow dryers?
Probably not. No. Basically, you can have a light bulb inside of the tube.
Okay. That works.
And what's a whole house fan? While we're on the topic of other things
I love
that you guys
those.
do.
Go for it.
A whole house fan is a system that would allow you to open the windows at home and have natural fresh air come into your home.
Okay.
Again, it deals back to the stack effect that we talked about earlier on how cold air wants to move to where hot air is. So if you force hot air to move, you're now forcing cold air to chase it. So a whole house fan allows that process to happen. So you're constantly blowing.
So the fans are blowing out. So how does that? What's the install? What does that look like? Where is that? You just like cut a hole in the wall, or it's a window unit? How do you do this?
Actually,
whole house fan?
we install those in the ceiling.
Okay.
And again, it depends on the size of the house. It also depends on the shape of the house, where the windows are going to be. Typically, homeowners here prefer to install these in moments that are not summertime because it's kind of hot out there right now. But for other moments of the year, fall, winter, depending on how cold it gets, and even spring, we do have 6 to 9 months where you can get all the benefits of that natural fresh air into your home. And by doing that, you're going to be way healthier inside of your home, killing virus, bacteria, and all that stealth air that's been sitting there forever.
I mean, Adam, you've probably seen these. They were popular between the 50s and 70s. We walk into those homes that you hit that one switch and the ceiling things drop down and you're... That's the whole house fan.
Yep.
Oh.
Well, that's a different version of it because back then they were just putting all that air in the attic, not realizing you have to get it out of the house.
Exactly.
But yeah, in the older houses, that's there. And when we come back from the break, we're going to continue to ask some of these popular questions. If you have any questions, our on-air number is 888-404-1010. That's 888-404-1010. Call with your questions. We'll be right back.
I'm Adam Talley with Talley Insurance. Are you